Vaso de agua. Mm.
This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Jensen Maydew, Tony Caranco, and your host, Wes Underwood.
And welcome into the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Jeffersons Free Fried Pickle Fridays. Also, be sure to head there to watch many of these playoff games. Got March Madness coming up, but we got football left. Some big games this weekend, obviously. But college basketball, get in there and watch those games. Lots of teams in this area. Man, you got Southern, you got MIZZOU, you got Missouri State. You got a lot of stuff going on here for basketball right now. Not even to mention high school, but yeah, get some wings, grab a drink, and take some friends. Then, while you're at it, go check out Robert's Integrative Dentistry throughout the day in Joplin if you're looking for that brighter, straighter smile. And yeah, get that going this new year. Only a few more days until we can say this new year is officially like broken in. It's crazy, but
Old dude.
yeah. And yeah, schedule that appointment today at 417-622-0404. Also, don't forget to check out TeeTime in that time frame there in Web City. Be sure to grab your friends and go enjoy some free pickleball the rest of this month. Supposed to be some nice weather coming up, so good nights to go, good afternoons to go. Play some pickleball with some friends. Don't have to pay a thing. Just hop on in, try it out, and see what you like. And if you don't want to just do that, you can go play some golf too, or, you know, like I do, grab an iced coffee or a hot coffee, whatever floats your boat this time of year. But yeah, Wes Underwood, Clint out, Jensen out in the Jensen's in the weird southern snow. We'll let her tell her story the next time she's on, but sounds fun. And then yeah, welcome back, Tony. How's it going?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Oh, just living the life. Got a lot going on. As we kind of talked about before the show. Definitely a lot going on.
Right.
But we're here and we're doing another show. And we also yeah, have lives outside of this and keep us busy for sure.
Yeah, that's without a doubt. Yeah, I've been really busy. Wrestling has been keeping me busy, so that's kind of makes it hard to get away.
Here you're taking it out on those kids and you're getting them in the suplex form and
Yeah, suplex somebody, a bunch of 8-year-olds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I can see it. I can see it. But all right. Before we get started, hit that subscribe and follow button on YouTube there. And well, get things started off. College basketball on the men's side first. We'll jump over to women's in a little bit. Just talk some standings there. But well, Auburn number 1, Duke number 2, Iowa State number 3, and Alabama number 4. And oh my goodness, we're 12 weeks in. It's crazy. I mean, looking back to week 2, Kansas was that number 1, and just after a lot of controversial stuff and just the well, let's list them here. 14-4 is KU, and then along came Creighton, and then along came Mizzou, and then West Virginia edged them out a few weeks ago. Iowa State number 2, they ended up beating them, and I mean it was a pretty dominant win for Iowa State, and to see them now in that top 25, especially up there in the what? They're number 2, I said, right? No, 3. Number 3, right behind Duke. I mean, Duke's come from behind. You know, they lose Coach K a couple of years back. Now they're starting to find that form again. Duke was a team that was like, all right, what are we going to see here? And now they're a team that's like, okay, cool. They're back at it. And then Alabama up at number 4. Iowa State number 3 is mentioned. Florida number 5. Tennessee 6. Houston 7. Um, Michigan State back in the top 10. Number 8. Kentucky number 9. Okay. Doing good without the Calipari thing going on, who went down to Arkansas. Arkansas struggling a little bit, but we'll see we'll see what they can do there with Coach Cal. Kansas at 12. Look, 13-4. You get beat by Mizzou, and Mizzou's at 15-3. I think they're now, as of today, 15-4. But in the rankings, they were 15-3. They're 22. And look, Mizzou and Creighton both beat Kansas. And this is where I just hate these polls this early in the season. I would like to see them within the next couple of weeks and see where everybody's at in general. But I mean, do you have any thoughts on this? Anything on the NCAA men's side?
No, no, I haven't really kept up with basketball, honestly.
KU
I will
sucks.
say that. Well, I will say the polls are there just that way they can get us talking. I'd
Yeah.
say that Mizzou's probably not put on there very accurately.
As of right
So
now, no. I agree with that.
so I mean they want to get us talking a little bit. They're probably not in the top 10 either, but
Yeah.
uh, but they're so they're not going to like blatantly disrespect like a top 10 team like that. I feel like but I would say that Mizzou has a decent enough following that that'll get some people to watch a little bit more.
Well, it's crazy that they're only a half a game back of Alabama, but they're a game and a half back of Auburn, who's 5-0 currently, 17-1. Auburn looks like the team to beat in the SEC. Alabama, I mean, they've always been pretty good. Let's look here. So Mizzou just lost to Texas at Texas 61-53. Mizzou is a very strong home team right now, and anything at home, they're pretty good favor to win, unless if they just get stunned. But they were able to take on KU at Mizzou, and they ended up beating them by 9. At one point, I think they were up almost 20 over KU, and then KU decided to step it into gear and come back. It's like, hey, we can't lose like that. Then Mizzou ends up going and losing to Illinois, which I thought that was the game that Mizzou was going to get ranked after, and probably so. Um, 80-77 in that one. Mizzou fell just on some sloppy play. Illinois currently sits at 8-3, but um, just or well, that's what they were at that point. I don't see if I can find that now. Um, it's weird that it didn't pop up right there, but okay, 13-5. So Mizzou, yes, is better. I just think Illinois came back and was able to ride that momentum and did what they did, but they lost to Michigan State, who's number 12 at that time. They lost to USC by 10. Yeah, so they've lost a couple since then. They went on a 5-game winning streak with the Mizzou game included. They played a couple of weird teams, and then you ended up playing number 9 Oregon, Washington, and Penn State. So not a bad resume for them. Are they? I don't know. Are they top 10, top 25? They got them at 17. I guess if you want to do that, yeah. I would say Illinois over KU with just who KU's lost to. And then Mizzou. Mizzou's lost to credible teams. I mean, you go back here right now, Mizzou, the only uncredible win or loss that they had was against Memphis back in week 1, and then you lose to Illinois, then you lose to number 2 Auburn. Both teams, good teams, and then your other loss comes to Texas, which Texas, they could be something. I mean, looking at their record right now, 13-6, and they've got some credible teams, but they've also lost to number 1 Tennessee, number 2 Auburn, and then number 13 Texas A&M, and pretty much all of them looks like, well, no. Texas A&M was a blowout by 20, and then close games between Auburn and Tennessee. So yeah, they have a little bit of potential, but they've lost to every ranked opponent except Mizzou, and Florida even beat them. Florida whomped them, and Florida is going to be a good team to watch too. But yeah, I agree. Just get us talking. It's early in the season. I'm not really quite certain why they put these up there, but it's kind of crazy. I'm glad to see Mizzou in there, though. They haven't gotten the love that they deserved after this program's complete change and turnaround in what they did. I mean, tournament a couple years ago, last year silent, but then now they're making waves for this year too. So, whatever Coach Gates is doing, he's doing great. He's brought a winning atmosphere back to MIZZOU after some just weird stuff with Quanzo Martin. Then you bring in Kim Anderson, and it's like, okay, what are we doing here? And then shortly after, Dennis Gates heard around the league, but not really heard in the MIZZOU area, at least fan wise. I guess unless you're maybe a diehard, but it's crazy to see where they've come. So, on the women's side, we'll go over to women's basketball for college as well. And I mean, not much difference over the last couple weeks. Yeah, you had your one big upset of the year as, excuse me, South Carolina lost, but really, I don't, I don't know. I don't see much there. Um, Top 25, we've got UCLA up there at 17-0, rightfully so. They've earned it. But South Carolina, as mentioned, that one loss, they sit at number 2, could easily be the number 1. Then you got Notre Dame, 16-2, USC at 17-1. They're number 4. LSU's a team. Coach Mulkey, she's got that going, 20-0 right now. They're looking to prove that they can continue to do what they were doing with Angel Reese. And I mean, look, it's really interesting at what the
What, missing
Caitlin Clark.
shots?
Huh?
Missing shots?
On what?
Oh, I thought you said continue to do what Angel Reese was doing. Like, what's
Well,
that missing?
I mean, in NCAA, she didn't during the regular season anyway. She did a little bit in the postseason, but she was pretty good in the NCAA regular season.
I
So,
was talking about WNBA.
um, yeah, I mean, really, she did do the double double thing for a while, but missing quite a few shots on top of that. Yeah, it's been pretty.
The Russell Westbrook of WNBA.
They think, well, I want to see what she does next year when she's healthy because they finally ended up putting her on the bench and letting her sitting out. She did have the shoulder injury, so I want to see if that's legit. And if not, then I'm going to say that that was probably an excuse. But let's see. Yeah. Caitlin Clark, Iowa really hasn't been relevant. I don't even think they're close to being ranked. They were at the beginning of the year, and then they just slowly vanished out. So let's see. Texas is up there. UConn's back in there, but LSU's at 20-0. I guess let's take a look and see who they've played. I mean, if they can go undefeated, that's a big statement. They did beat number 16 Tennessee, and they've got South Carolina left, OU. They get to go to MIZZOU, which MIZZOU is somewhat decent at home. Number 17 Tennessee, 11 Kentucky, 7 Texas, and 19 Alabama. So yeah, they've got quite a bit. But Johnson for LSU, 20 points a game. It's been incredible to watch. Just continue to watch her, and yeah, I don't know. It's going to be fun. The women's side over the last couple of years has definitely proven me wrong, and just watching Caitlin Clark and all that stuff spark. So we'll see what happens this year because Kim Mulkey, the coach down there at LSU, she ain't letting it go, and I feel like she's just going to continue to get better. So, anything else on that end? You got anything towards the women's side?
New.
No. All right. Moving on, going into the NBA, Jimmy Butler suspended again, this time for 2 games after he missed a flight for his team. This has been one of the weirdest sports like moments ever. I don't even know. Apparently he continues his pattern of disregarded team rules insubordinate conduct detrimental to the team, including missing today's team flight. Like, I don't feel like that's detrimental, missing the
Right.
team flight. That's like, okay, I don't want to go. I'm angry at you. I want to be traded, or I don't want to be here. I'm voicing my opinion. It's okay for me to do this. I've got the money. At what point do you just say, okay, let's get rid of the sidetrack, trade him, and get it over with? Like, even the coach says he doesn't even care. Just move on from it. And that's Spolstra, who's had LeBron, who's had Dwayne Wade, guys like that, Ray Allen, all that jazz. I mean, guys who didn't really participate a lot with the team, but came in and played as a team, as a unit, but stuck together like kind of like, hey, we're the top three here. Like, cool. You guys do you. We're over here. Okay. That's pretty much what I got when they were there. But I don't know. It's crazy to see how much has been put into this. And it's crazy to see that a lot of people are just fed up with it and they're done with it, which I'm there. Like, doesn't make any sense. You got any thoughts on this one? Like, do you
Yeah,
agree?
I mean, obviously, it sounds like he doesn't want to be there no more. Um, which obviously the team management is probably pretty upset, right? If
Yeah.
they spend money on him, trying to build a franchise around him,
Yeah.
you know. So I mean, they're going to be spiteful. I don't blame him. I mean, he's being spiteful too by, you know, by not, by blatantly missing his flight and doing other things. Like it sounds like he's, you know, he's doing it right back. So obviously, it's not a healthy relationship, but at the same time, it kind of this hurts Jimmy more than it does the team. I would say
Yeah.
because I think it hurts his stock a little bit. Nobody wants to. I understand there's two sides to this equation. However, um, a team is going to be a little bit more hesitant to offer more money for him if this is the way he's acting once he wants to leave. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the Heat is handling it very well either. However, um, I think it does hurt him more than it hurts the team if he's
Yeah.
trying to leave. Like it just doesn't help him.
Well, in a quote earlier this week, when someone asked him what would happen if he's still on this team by February 7th, and he smiled and he said, we're playing a lot of what ifs, ain't we? I'm gonna
Yeah,
hoop. It's
yeah,
like, okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think. I get if he wants to leave, but I think he needs to make the most out of where he's
Oh yeah.
um, at the moment. And
I mean, I feel like even as a Chicago Bull, it was still kind of a bitter, like, we didn't even know he wanted out as fans. Like, you couldn't even tell it. But I guess it was really bad that they finally just were like, yeah, you're not coming back.
right. Well, and if that's the case, and he's doing it here, what makes you think that's going to be any different anywhere else,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if I'm a team manager and I see, hey, they're offering this guy a bunch of money, with hopes that they're going to build a franchise off of it,
Yeah.
it sounds like he's more of a liability than he really is an asset. Like, do you really want to invest that much money into it?
I guess if we really look at it, James Harden kind of does the same thing when he's ready. It's like, okay, see ya. I'm gonna get fat. I'm gonna not make weight. I'm gonna be slow. I'm still gonna ball, but I'm gonna be slow and I'm not gonna be ready to go. It's weird.
Yeah,
Mentality of that.
yeah. It's I don't know. It's a diva mentality. Like, and I get like you're the one putting your body out there on the line.
Yeah.
I understand both sides. And I do think that there should be like a more uh, streamlined way to try to get out if that's really the case. You know what I
Sure.
mean? But I don't know. It's not good for the sport.
No,
It's,
and it isn't. It's hurting it because now all these younger guys are like, huh, look, we can do this with NIL and then we go to the NBA. We can sign a 1-2 year contract and just do whatever we want. We can demand what we want. Look what these guys are doing.
Right.
And it is. It's making it uneasy to watch and definitely less enjoyable than what it used to be.
Yeah. Well, and I think the last time I was on the show, I brought up that the NBA needs to do half the amount of games and then just do a big tournament where they do a 3-game series. You know,
Yeah, fair enough. I
I
mean,
think it'd
that's
be
what
a lot
it's.
more.
I feel like that's the mentality of the players, especially. I was talking with Clint last week. LeBron James is trying to start his own separate league to compete with the NBA, and so far they've got 6 teams. So it's like, okay, where's this going?
Yeah, I mean, eventually it'll end up with a merger, I think. But uh,
Didn't that, like I said to Clint, didn't that already happen with the ABA and Jackie Moon?
yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I mean, I think less games. I think less is more. The Chick-fil-A mentality.
Yeah,
You know, I think like I said, if they did half the amount of games, the games literally mean a lot more.
sure.
You know, um, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it'd be a lot more interesting. It would give, and then it'd be less strain on their bodies because eventually you get out. Those guys get to rest.
I
You
agree.
know, it'd probably be like a month worth of games, 2 months worth of games or so. So
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Next up, we go ahead and move into the NFL and a bit of brighter news, and we talk the New York Jets and finding their coach. They hire defensive coordinator for the Lions, Aaron Glenn, as the new head coach. Lots of mixed emotions here. A lot of guys loving it, and then there's kind of a few guys that are just kind of like, okay, what? And on his new journey from low-level scout to highly coveted coordinator, Aaron Glenn told his friends his dream job was to coach the New York Jets. The franchise made him a first round pick in 1994, and it became reality this past Wednesday as Glenn, most recently the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator, was hired as the 19th non interim coach in Jets history. And terms of the deal were not announced, but ESPN's Adam Schefter broke this news. Got a 5-year contract, and it does go through 2029. And he also said, Glenn also said, I'm excited to welcome or be welcome to this team, and was also greeted by Chairman Woody Johnson, who a lot of people are kind of frustrated with at this moment. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting. They're still looking to hire a general manager, by the way, this team, and like there's just a lot going on for the Jets. Glad they got their coach. I hope it's the right guy. He seems like the right guy. He's nice. He does what he's supposed to do. He gets the job done. And we've seen what he did with that defense in Detroit. And now we're gonna see what happens to Dan Campbell and that defense next year with a lot of those guys on contracts who could end up on the New York Jets. So we'll see. But any thoughts on this one? You like it? Not like it?
I mean, at this point, the Jets need anything to kind of make that spark go up. I think the general manager hire is probably going to be more of an effect, personally. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I think they have plenty of talent on the Jets. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, a good coach is important. I'm not saying that at all, but I think the way the morale within the organization overall, I think it's going to affect it a little bit more as well
Mm-hmm.
because have all the talent in the world, but if you're not happy where you're at, they're not going to perform. So
Isaiah Davis, baby. We know that they're loaded at running back. They've got 4 of them. That's how loaded they were.
right,
So,
you can go to pretty much any other team and probably get a starting spot.
yeah, absolutely. Especially, I mean, even on his lowest carry was 3 yards, but his highest was 6, and I think he ended up averaging about 4.5 yards a carry. I was like, that's nothing to shake your head at.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's his rookie year. He'll get a few more touches and he'll get more comfortable. And I think
It
it'll be
still baffles me that he got to be part of history of Aaron Rodgers' legacy with that touchdown catch he had from him too, and then Rodgers setting his record. It's like, how cool is that? One, that's your first touchdown, and two, it came from Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
yeah, not very much heard like that from this area, other than like maybe Brandon Williams, Alan Barbary, and Rod Smith. But it's pretty crazy
The
because Rod
wisdom,
Smith got to play with John Elway, which was pretty cool, and
right?
Barbary got to play behind McNabb and or in front of McNabb and a couple others. So it's been interesting to see where our Southwest Missouri alum have gone. So
Right. Well, and then you got Wistrom as well, who was a
oh, yeah,
Super Bowl champ and
yeah,
Hall of Famer.
so much. The ones that go from here make it pretty far, and it's been pretty cool to watch. So especially in recent years, for sure.
Right.
So. All right, moving on to the NFL playoff bracket. 4 teams remain: Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Commanders. Do you think it would get this way? Did you think on the NFC side that the Commanders, the 6th seed, would be up against the Eagles this week?
Not at all. But the way they played, I'd say they deserve it.
Yeah,
Uh, man, I'm gonna go with Washington on this one
yeah.
personally. I
You
mean,
think they can
if they
pull that
can,
upset?
oh, I mean, they can. They got the talent for it.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, they're explosive enough that I think they can. Um,
be a Daniels fan for a little bit.
yeah. However, I'd say I mean, Philadelphia's a little bit more consistent. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So that matters a lot at this level is consistency.
yeah. You
Um,
got Saquon over there who deserves a ring too after everything he had to go through in New York.
right. Yeah.
So
No. Yeah. And so like I'd be happy with really either one,
yeah,
but I would like to see the Commanders in the Super Bowl. I think.
yeah,
Uh,
I agree.
it, you know, the Redskins actually. I would like to see the Redskins in the Super Bowl. Um, but
Mm.
then on the AFC side, man, um,
It's gonna be fun. That's all I'm gonna say.
it's going to be really boring.
You
Like
think?
every other Chiefs game. I mean, every other Chiefs games have been pretty boring,
You
low
don't think
scoring.
this one will live up to the 13-second game?
I hope so. I mean, I do hope so. Um, I do know this: the Bills do definitely got to show up that day with everything they got.
Yeah.
I know the Chiefs will.
Oh, the Bills. I'm not worried about them not being able to show up. It's what team are we going to see on defense from both sides? Because both sides' defenses, I think, are going to be the difference makers. We know Mahomes is going to throw it. We know the Chiefs are going to run it. We know the Bills are going to throw it. And we know the Bills can run it too. So offensively, I feel like we're going to see boring unless if defenses step up. So,
Yeah. Well, if the refs step up, I think it'll be a little bit more interesting for you guys. But
I don't even know. Does it even tell? I'm going to look at it and see if they've got those. I know they tell people who the refs are going to be.
yeah,
Is that on there yet? No. I'm sure they do. Just probably not on ESPN.
yeah,
Special guest referee Travis Kelce. No, just kidding. Probably Taylor Swift and I don't know Josh Allen's girlfriend's name. She's pretty famous too. Or now fiance, excuse me. Man, yeah, they got the Bills winning. They got 45 or 54% for the Bills on this one, so it's almost pretty even. So
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, it's a good game either way. I mean, obviously, I want the Bills to win, but either way, I just as long as it's not a boring game, as long as it's fair. Honestly, I would say this is the biggest complaint, like from fans that I've been talking to just throughout. That just even Chiefs fans, like when you get to sit down and talk to them, most Chiefs fans are like, yeah, I think we get we get a little bit special love, and and I just think it takes away from the game. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I used to really enjoy watching football, and now I'm just like, and it's not just the Chiefs, but there's a lot of games where there's just blatantly bad calls, and
sure.
it's just like like you can review them, and it's just like Nope. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
It's
mean,
just
the refs have been pretty like, okay, that's reviewable, but I'm going to stick with my call anyway. It's my decision, so we'll give it a look, but I'm not changing my mind. And
you know,
it's
and they
crazy at how common that's become now, even with replay, the way that it is and all the camera angles we have these days. So,
yeah, well, and and then also, I mean, it's gotten worse ever since they introduced gambling into the NFL. You know, it's
it,
uh,
yeah,
you know what I
it
mean, like
has.
it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was always like a bad call here and there.
Oh, yeah,
Like I'm not like I mean, people are human. They're going to make those bad calls.
sure.
But man, every game, every game, like it's just that bad. Like I mean, these people have to have the under or the over on something. Like
Yeah,
it's just it's ridiculous. Like and they're an entertainment company, so they're legally allowed to do so without repercussions. But if that's the case, then there shouldn't be gambling allowed.
yeah,
You know? So
it's crazy.
yeah, it's sad, honestly.
It's like, I mean, it's kind of like me. You don't know. You never know anymore. But,
You
all
never know.
right. Moving on, we'll go ahead and head into the local soccer update brought to you by the Corner Kick in Neosho. And as I get my background here, that sweet logo that Sam has made and got made for him. Excited to continue our partnership down there as they've expanded into Northwest Arkansas. It's
They're
been
killing it
really
too.
cool. Huh?
They're killing it. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
it's
And
taking off.
just I guess don't forget their location here in Missouri in Neosho at 1411 Blue Oak Lane, Suite C. But largest soccer store in Southwest Missouri, and now they can claim Northwest Arkansas officially. And then they also say within southeastern Kansas, uh, NEO, northeastern Oklahoma. But yeah, check them out Tuesday through Sunday for your football needs. And well, real quick, we'll hop into an interview that I got to do and had the pleasure of having one of the current defenders who will be on the team this year. Go ahead and take a look at that, and we'll be right back. And we welcome in current defender Regan Steigleder. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm honestly ready for. I know the beginning of soccer season and the end of soccer season are cold, but I'm ready for
Hmm.
this bitter cold to be gone.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I feel
I'm,
like
I'm
there's
sure
always
for
a spell.
practice.
Yeah, yeah, because we've been indoors in a small area, so it'd be nice to open up a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, I hear you. I'm an
Hmm.
educator, so stuck indoors with the kids when it's this way, and it's like they need to be outside. We need to
Yeah,
get out. So,
I can imagine.
100%.
Yeah.
But all right, well, a little background on you last season. Come into the current after playing in Sweden. Can you kind of give
Hmm.
us a little background on how you ended up with the current?
Yeah, so I got I don't remember if it was a text message or a call from Vasile and Lucas in either late December or January about coming and just training with the current. They had like a preseason.
Hmm.
So I came in for a couple weeks. I was actually signed to go play in Sweden that year, but the current ended up buying me out of that contract. I don't know the right terminology.
Okay.
So I came to the current, yeah, instead of going back to Sweden, but I think it was a great option for me.
It's awesome. And you end up making your debut in March in a game
Mhm.
against Angel City. What was that moment like for you when it finally hit that you're in the NWSL?
It was just the most surreal experience. I think I had like an out of body moment. I might have blacked out. I just remember we're always warming up, obviously in the corner of the field, and then they called my name and I was like, me? It was, yeah, it was amazing. Just like going out onto the field, hearing the fans, the atmosphere is insane. So honestly, I can just say it was a surreal moment, and I was really, really proud of myself, obviously.
It's awesome. And on top of that, more surreal moments coming through the season. Huge historic season last year
Mhm.
for the team in general. And what was the most memorable part of that season for you?
Yeah, I think that's a tough one. There were so many memorable moments of that season. But honestly, just that first game against Portland, stepping on to the field with the new stadium, all of the
Yeah.
fans, going out there for warm up and just the crowd erupting. And I was like, this is just warm up. And then the fireworks going off for the national anthem and
Yeah.
yeah, it just was yeah, one of the most memorable moments of of my life, let alone that season. So,
So you went to college at Northwestern, correct? So
Yeah, yeah.
where's that at? I'm unfamiliar.
No, it's right outside of Chicago.
Okay. So
Hmm.
you kind of grew up in Chiefs country. You're here now. I'm adding a question in.
No,
Sorry.
you're good. No, you're
Have you
fine.
been to that atmosphere yet?
Yeah, actually, Ellie Wheeler and I went to a game. Yeah, obviously they can fit a lot more fans, but same energy, just the Kansas City atmosphere, the fans are a different breed. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing how much support we gather.
And I feel like honestly with the size of it, it's pretty equal.
Yeah, the noise level, it feels like the noise in the current stadium and the Chiefs stadium is pretty similar. Even though that doesn't logically make too much sense with the numbers, but I
It's true.
promise.
Yeah. It's just it's how they're designed. It really is,
Yeah.
and it comes
Yeah.
down to that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, honestly though, I am gonna share a little disappointment. Chewinga's
Oh.
River Ball, come on.
Oh.
Most memorable right there.
Yeah,
Everything,
true.
social
That's my
media.
bad. That's my bad.
Did you at least get the shirt?
Oh yeah, our whole team
Okay.
has the shirt. Everyone
Okay.
wears it all the time. Yeah.
That makes me a little happier.
Yeah. Yeah, of
But
course.
all that being said, schedule was released this week. Do you have any match pinned down already that you're looking forward to?
I would say, quote Vladko on this one, our most important game is always the next game. So we take each game one step at a time. So I'm looking forward most to our first game against Portland, and
Okay.
then we'll move from there. Obviously, we want to see Orlando again, but we gotta take it game by game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Well
Hmm.
said. I like that.
Thanks.
And all right. All that being said, team's mindset as you all are coming out of this off season and getting prepared for that first game.
Hmm. Yeah, I think obviously the season's longer than it has been in the past. So coming back, you're expecting people to be like, "Oh, we're back already." But it's so nice to see everyone's faces. Everyone's getting back into the groove of everything. We're getting into tackles like Geico loves. Yeah, I think the mindset's great. We're ready for the season to take it one step further, or
And I,
hopefully two steps further. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Going off that a little bit too, how are you feeling going in right now after last season and just kind of not really banged up, but most of you guys get pretty banged up. Are you feeling good
Mhm.
going in?
Yeah, physically feeling good. Our sports med team, Garga, everyone, our medical team, they're great about making sure our bodies are okay. We use our downtime to actually have downtime. So
Good.
everyone's feeling fresh, ready to go. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, last question, kind of a fun one.
Hmm.
Outside of CPKC, and we'll go away from Arrowhead too. I mean, you guys haven't gotten to play there yet, but which stadium's been your favorite one to play in and why?
Like I feel like I can't answer this question. I have to say ours, right?
We'll give you the pass on this one, obviously.
Yeah, no, I would say my first away game at San Diego, that was a pretty cool experience. They get quite a few fans. I think they had a record home opener uh, as well. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool experience, but obviously ours is 100 times better.
Nah, no bias at all.
Yeah.
No, I agree though too. Just seeing how everything's done, I would say
Mhm.
CPKC. I mean, it's state of the art. It's first class. Everything was done. I feel like right. So you guys have an
Mhm.
awesome place, and I'm glad to see it happen. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, me too. Yeah, I'm excited to see what this season brings us.
awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, and we
Yeah.
appreciate your time, and hopefully catch up with you later this season.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And it was nice to officially meet you.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Thanks. All right. You too. Bye.
Great stuff from her, and excited for the current season this year. That schedule release yesterday, phenomenal, and how the teams are making those fun videos and just going at it. It's been pretty cool to see. But now we go ahead and continue talking in the NWSL as they make a statement saying not done. And they're talking about the expansion announcement set for this week coming up. And Commissioner Jessica Berman said Thursday that the expansion efforts are not finished. And the league is set to name its newest franchise next week. Denver will be awarded the 16th franchise when the announcement is made. And also, it says, obviously, there's been a lot of rumors circulating, but we will have an announcement next week towards this. So, more to come in the not too distant future, Berman said. We know that our expansion is not done. We're in active conversations with our board to determine the next sequence of expansion. And I've shared before, we have so many interested bidders who are not given a team in this round. And part of the next effort that they have will be 3 teams. And in 6 months is it's going to be developing our next expansion strategy within that next 6 months. So we want to be aggressive with the expansion, but we also want to be strategic and smart about how we do that. And the current 14 teams in the league will grow to 16 by 2026 with the 15th team Boston Nation FC already announced and Denver expected to be revealed next week. So it's exciting to see this happening, and we're really excited for the league to be expanding. Talks of Caitlin Clark being a potential owner have spread, and we'll see how that ends up going. But I mean, it's great for the sport. It's great for these ladies, and it's awesome to see just how it keeps unfolding. Watching everything in Kansas City last year, getting to meet the commissioner and just seeing how excited she was with everything and the way it's been going, just to hear that excitement in person. And now to be reading another article in which she's like, yeah, we're killing it. We're getting this stuff done. We're getting all these bidders, these partners, and just being able to go out and do what we need to do. It's been phenomenal to see. It's been phenomenal to watch. And Tony, you've kind of gotten to be a part of this too and gone up to a couple of matches. And I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think it's great, and I think getting more people involved, and just in soccer in general, it's it's a great sport, and like I remember when we went up to our first match, you were mind blown about like how cool the atmosphere was, and it's different from a football game, and arguably more intense.
Oh,
It's like, and people don't understand that. They're like, it's like soccer intense, like they have a hard time putting that together. I'm like, no, trust me. Like if you haven't been to a game, it's a whole different vibe.
yes.
Um, it's a lot of fun, but yeah, no, I think it's great. I think getting more people involved, like Caitlin Clark. I mean, I think that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Uh, how Mahomes has evolved already with the current,
Yeah.
you know, getting high profile names to invest in other sports like that, where it's going to make them money and going to grow the sport. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
No.
I think more profile, like high profile names like that. If Taylor Swift wanted to buy a team, I guarantee you they would. Like, I guarantee you that soccer team
Chiefs.
would go absolutely bonkers.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? Like if she were to buy it, buy the team in New York. I don't even know if there's a team in New York, but if there was if there was a team in New York that she could buy, or a team in LA, or Nashville, you know what I mean? Like she would, like there'd be an overnight following for soccer.
And
I guarantee it.
Nashville, let's see. I think Racing Louisville's out that way. I'm still learning teams. I'm
Yeah,
still learning teams for sure. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Really am. I mean, getting to cover it and be up there and see this all in action. Wish we could go to some away games. That'd be even fun, more fun. So, uh,
funner.
yeah, I wanted to. I wanted to say it. But that teacher in me is like, that's not correct. And if my kids hear this, I'm gonna get it. So
Uh,
but on that note, we'll head into the local sports update brought to you by Trackside Burgers. They're open at 1515 West 10th Street. Go get some weekend barbecue today, this weekend. Also, kids eat free on Mondays as long as you buy an adult meal. So be sure to get over there this new year and you won't regret it. Give them a shout and check them out. So, on that note, Missouri Southern, Pitt State, rival game at Missouri Southern, Liggett and Platt. I almost called it Mizzou Arena. How dare me? At Liggett and Platt, and I'll be able to be there going in to watch that game as this is a late season rematch from earlier in the year. So, going to be there for that one. Hope the atmosphere is good. 50th reunion or something, celebration of women's sports over 50 years. That's going to be something that's going to be awesome to cover as well. And our own Jensen was a part of that, but due to weather and other things, she will not be up here for that this weekend. But would love to have her on and just talk about what it means to her to be a part of that. And yeah, just have her back next week. So hopefully she is, and we'll get on that. But next up, we'll head to the local sports update brought to you by Ghetto Taco on Fridays. Get 10% off all burritos all day long. They close at 8 p.m. They're located at 536 Northeast Street, Webb City, Missouri. Drive-through is available. You can call ahead 417-717-1261. California burrito sounds good about now. And well, let's go ahead and look here. Goodness. So a lot of teams are away this week. We've got, well, for some reason it kicked me over to football. So
nice.
bear with me here. I apologize. First local sports update hiccup in a while. But Frontenac tournament, they'll be there, started yesterday, so they'll be there through the weekend to the 25th for Webb City. And then Carthage, they're 9-5. They will be at the Jenks / Union Oklahoma varsity tournament or invitational, not tournament. They'll be there through the 25th as well. It started yesterday. And then let's go to Joplin. They'll be in the Pittsburgh varsity invite, and that will be till the 25th as well. And then Neosho, they will be in, are they in a tournament? You would think, but they are not. They will be at Lebanon on the road tonight at 7:30 p.m. So be sure to tune into these games, local radio, or just go in person and support your local athletes. So, but no girls teams as far as I can see in action this weekend, and they usually play throughout the week and before the men's boys basketball teams play. So. But yeah, music's here. So is the end of another episode. Got any plans this weekend?
Wrestling, the Webb City Youth Wrestling tournament is going on this weekend at the Dome. So
Yes,
it'll be
gonna be very busy over here.
Yeah.
Look forward to watching you drive by my house 10 times, right?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll just be there.
Yeah, just staying. Okay. Roger too.
Yep. Yep.
Good deal. Yeah, may have to pop by. I know we're busy at 1:30. What time's it start?
9 o'clock. It'll probably be winding down around 1:30.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. I've been through one. I've been to one and just sat and I was like, man, I don't know. If I didn't have a kid here, I was like, this would be really awkward, one. And two, I don't know if I could like be a judge. It's a lot. So kudos to everybody who's out there.
Yeah. Well, we need table workers. So if you want to come volunteer.
Oh man. We'll see. What's the going rate on that?
Volunteer.
Yeah. Voluntold.
Get free food.
Oh,
And my mom is cooking too, so I'm a big dude, so I can
don't tempt me there. She's got some good stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely had the cake too. I think I've had something else, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, she makes a lot of good food, obviously.
Ah, dude, from what I've heard and what you've told me, and then what I've had, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But be sure to head on over there, catch Tony, and give him some heck on the floor and yell at his kid or your kid or whatever, right? Give him some
Yeah.
extra encouragement. But on that note, we'll take care and see y'all next time on the Sports Timeout.